Hi, and thank you once again for clicking on the button and watching. Didn't Lauren did a fantastic job last week with week 11. What I really enjoyed was listening to the 11 highlights of 11 weeks of lockdown. Thank you to all of you for providing content for that. It's great to hear over the last 11 or 12 weeks what we've been doing together during these strange times. And of course, a massive thank you to Lauren for stepping into the breach while I took a week off last week. Thank you. This week, I've had and taken part in 2 Group Scout leaders and district team meetings. It was fantastic to talk to the teams in North Cotswold and Cotswold districts about what's going on for them, how they're finding things, and sharing insight and experiences together that we could all learn from, as well as that ability to share some really key information with them. I know this week that's happened in the Forest of Dean as well, so a thank you to all of you that have been able to take part in those meetings this week. That opportunity to share experiences and come together, especially at these really strange times, is just as important as ever. I also got the ability this week to take some time to tidy up our website, and in particular one page. What page was it, Izzy?
gscouts.org.uk/coronavirus.
Thank you so much. Yes, that page. We've been tidying up a bit because what we recognised was that it was just getting fuller and fuller, and the ideas for programmes were moving further and further off the page. So what we've done is have a bit of a clean up and tidy it up and remove some of the older information, and we've put the ideas page a bit further up the page now for you easily to find it. You might be looking for the Mental Health Awareness Week resources, which we think there were some great resources there. We've put those on our people pages in our mental health support page now, so it's all still there, it's just in a different part of the website. Do go and take a look if you get a chance. You might remember this week as well, you had an email, or possibly the Group Scout leaders and the district managers would have all had an email explaining that Zoom is now free for scouting. The Zoom Pro licence, which normally costs just over £14 a month, has been given free to scouting up until November. So every group and every district can have their own Zoom Pro licence at no extra charge. It does require somebody to sign up for it from the group, so if you haven't already spoken to somebody about this, make sure that one person from each group is signing up for it, and you can make sure you get lots of details to be able to do that. There's lots of information available, and because we know Zoom is one of those less familiar tools for some people, in a couple of weeks' time we're going to launch a date where we can perhaps give some guidance or some training around using Zoom if you're one of those first-time users. Zoom's got lots of functionality and not everybody knows how to use it comfortably, so let's do something to help you with that. Look out for that very soon. Also this week, the association have been talking about the Great Indoors Staged Activity Badge. It's a fantastic badge, there's lots of great activities in it, and many of your young people have already been doing things, whether it be building towers or doing some of the chores around the house. So there's lots of activities they would have already been doing. And the great thing about the Great Indoors Staged Activity Badge is it's not just for members of Scouting. We can promote it to children and young people outside of Scouting as well, to give them some encouragement and the opportunity to learn some of those great skills for life. Do look out for it. There's a web page dedicated to it, scouts.org.uk/the Great Indoors. Go and have a look and just see all about those badge requirements. And if you want to do the badge, or any of those young people out there want to do the badge, just sign up. And just finally, what you've also might have noticed, the Carry On Scouting badge. Although it's not a headquarters initiative, well, it links very nicely to the Great Indoors Staged Activity Badge. The Forest of Dean very kindly gave us their Carry On Scouting badge, and I'm so pleased to hear that they've had over 4,000 orders for badges already. And that's not just in our county, across the UK, and actually across many parts of the world as well. Their district secretary who's sending out those badges has got a lot of work to do. So a huge thank you to them for that. We really do appreciate it. It's another great initiative. And just finally, this week has been Volunteers Week 2020. I don't know if you follow our Scouts, Gloucestershire Scouts Facebook page, but every day this week we've been hearing from one of our amazing volunteers. It's great to be able to celebrate the success, whether you stand in front of young people on a weekly basis, whether you tidy the hut, whether you make the juice, or whether you chair one of our exec meetings, or you do the badges. All really important things, whether you're in front of young people or behind the scenes. I want to say thank you. Particularly in this Volunteers Week, you are all amazing. Without all of you, Scouting simply wouldn't be as amazing as it is. And I think it's pretty fantastic, which means you must be pretty fantastic as well. So thank you for all that you're doing. Your stories. So this week I want to tell you about 3 people that I've heard about and the great activity that they've been doing. Well, one of them you've heard of before. You might remember me telling you about Seb Braun, who's also known as Bear, and he's the Beaver Scout leader at Watton Under Edge Beaver Scout Colony in the Cotswold Vale district. You might remember me telling you a few weeks ago that Seb had been cycling around all of the beavers, dropping off activities and letters, and every week he's cycling 40 kilometres, which is a fantastic effort. Well, not only has he been cycling all of that distance, but he's also been presenting Chief Scouts Awards on the doorstep as well. And I was really pleased to hear how recently he's been presenting Bronze Chief Scouts Awards to those young people, and they're continuing to work towards their badges. Thank you to all of you that are enabling people to continue to work towards their badges, and their top awards especially in these strange times. It is possible, and you're proving it. So thank you to all of you for doing that. The next person I want to tell you about is Ange Healy. Now, Ange is a Cub Scout leader at the first Royal Forest Scout Group in the Forest of Dean. Ange knocked on the door, and it's strange to see her there, and I'll tell you why she knocked a little bit later. But she was telling me that she was on the way round her area delivering packages and activities packs to her cubs. And she was telling me about how on a weekly basis she runs Zoom meetings, and this week they were doing a specific activity that required some resources, which she was providing, as well as doing a Zoom meeting. I read later on that Ange spent 6 hours out talking to cubs and to their parents, which is fantastic. So thank you, Ange, for all that you're doing week to week and delivering all of those activities. The third person I want to talk to you about is Steve the Scout. Steve is a scout leader in the Gloucester district. He does a fantastic job there, but recently he's taken to a fantastic job in an entirely different way. He's taken to YouTube. If you look up Steve the Scout on YouTube, you'll find that he's doing lots of instructional videos, which are fantastic. He's done videos on fire lighting, using rocket stoves, building camp gadgets, and using knots and lashings. I think he's doing a great job. I really want to recommend them to you. So do look up Steve the Scout on YouTube. These videos are great, they're really useful, and particularly useful for scouts and explorers as well, to be able to learn great techniques and classical scouting skills. Thank you for sharing your stories. Please do keep coming them in, keep sending them in to me, and I'd love to be able to share more with you next week. Presentations. As a county commissioner, one of the best things I get to do is to speak to young people and to speak to adults, particularly when I'm making presentations to them. And this is one of those amazing opportunities, although it's a bit strange because we're having to do it virtually. I'd like to present some certificates to the team that took part in the 10 Tours Challenge. Well, they didn't get to take part because actually the challenge got cancelled, as we can probably all imagine. And if you're wondering what the 10 Tours Challenge is, well, it takes place in Dartmoor, where the teams of teenagers have got just 2 days to do hikes of up to 55 miles. 55 miles in 2 days, carrying all of their own equipment and being entirely self-sufficient. So they needed lots of training, and all of our guys that were taking part in that, our team, had completed the training, which included taking part in the Cotswold Marathon, which, as many of you will know, is an already challenging challenge. The certificates I'm going to present today look like this. I've got one just to present to you just now, so it looks just like this one. So that's what the certificates look like, and we are going to present these face to face when we can get to people to meet them. And we've got a certificate for each one of the named individuals coming up just now, but when we can get to meet you face to face, we will do this formally, but just for now we just wanted to recognise you. So the people who have been awarded as members of the 10 Tours Challenge team this great certificate in recognition of all the achievement and the hard work they put in the training is going to Amber Pilley, David Jackson, well done David, Dominic Trowbridge, congratulations Dominic, well done, Grace Southgate, well done Grace, Isabel Poole, congratulations Isabel, Jack Stone, well done Jack, another great effort, Matthew Trowbridge, well done Matthew, congratulations, and Reese Herschel Burns, well done Reese. Well done to all of you. We will get formal certificates to you very soon as we can. But in the meantime, I hope that this virtual presentation just recognises the great work that you did in preparation for the 10 Tours Challenge. Thank you for being a part of our team. And also I want to say a huge thank you to the volunteer that led that team. So Paul Rothwell, who led all of the training and put the whole team together, almost ready to be able to undertake that 10 Tours Challenge. A huge thank you to all of you, and especially to Paul for your work. Coming up. So coming up this week, there are lots of great things as always. And I want to tell you just about 3 really quick things. The first one is our Water Activities Day, which takes place next Sunday, the 14th of June. Well, you can do the activities any day you like, but that'll be the day we're focusing on. On that day, you're going to be able to have the opportunity to, with the rest of the county, undertake 12 different activities focused around using water activities. Developed once again by the Forest of Dean in place of their normal Water Activities Day, this is a chance to have some fun and enjoy some activities together. There are 12 challenges and you'll find them all on our website at gscouts.org.uk/water-activities. There's a pack there that tells you how to do all of the activities. It includes a certificate you can complete once you've done all 12 of them. And every day up until the 14th of June, we're putting a new video online that shows you how to do one of those challenges. Now, this isn't really aimed at you as leaders. Absolutely, we're all encouraged to take part. But I really want to encourage us all, if we could possibly just forward that web address onto parents and to young people who might be interested in taking part in this really great bunch of activities. They're really easy to do and you won't need many resources to do it. So if you can, do please forward on the activities pack to other people or just share that website address so people can get involved. It'd be great to get as many people involved as we had for our virtual camp that we had a few weeks ago. The weekend after that, the 19th to the 21st of June, normally would be the weekend of strategy from Strategy and Evolution. Sadly, as we mentioned a few weeks ago, it can't take part this year, and as a result, we're probably all going to miss out. Well, you don't need to. The great team from SNE have developed a new initiative, SNE and at Home. And it will take place over that same weekend, the 19th to the 21st of June, and it will carry on into the following week as well, where you can carry on lots of great fun activities and lots of great challenges as well. You won't need any specialist equipment, you won't need to leave the home to be able to do it. So there's lots of great activities for you to do. If you haven't signed up yet and you don't want to miss out on the fun, sign up at s-e.org.uk and find out more about it and how you can get involved. It looks like it's going to be a great bunch of fun. And the final thing I want to talk to you about is another event that sadly we had to cancel earlier this year, which was Goose. I'm not going to talk to you much more about it, but just keep that same weekend free in your diaries, the 18th to 20th of September. Just keep that weekend free. We're going to be telling you more about it next week, but just keep that weekend in relation to perhaps a virtual Goose. And finally, a few weeks ago, I said that soon you won't be able to see my face because of all of the neckers I'm wearing. I really do appreciate you sending me your neckers, but suddenly, having said that, I've been inundated them and I've received 4 this week. I don't know quite what to make of that. Anyway, I want to say a big thank you to 45th Gloucester who sent me this scarf, this necker just here. And what they wrote to me was to tell me that Eric, one of their Cub Scouts, has recently completed and awarded their Silver Chief Scouts Award, another great top award that's been awarded out there. Thank you to 45th Gloucester, both for the scarf and for continuing to support young people in achieving their top awards. The next scarf I've been sent is from First Woodman Co. You might remember last week Lauren was talking about Tracy Barrell from First Woodman Co. and her son George in particular, who spent a lot of time camping in the garden recently. I've been in lots of great activities. So thank you Tracy and to First Woodman Co. for this scarf. Next up, we've got this scarf from First Upton St Leonard's, and I think it's fantastic. Look at this badge that they've got of their lions. It's fantastic. So First Upton St Leonard's, thank you so much for sending me your scarf through and your necker. I really do appreciate it, and it's another one to add to the pile. And finally, I mentioned earlier that I'd tell you why Ange knocked on the door. Well, Ange from First Royal Forest dropped this off to me this week. This was the reason she knocked on my door. So a huge thank you to Ange and First Royal Forest for this necker as well. Don't forget, you can still send your neckers in, and it won't be long, I promise you, before you can't see my face, and you never know, I might stop recording these videos then. So a huge thank you to everybody that sent their neckers. I will get them back to you, I promise, after this is all over. So just as we wrap up this session and this video, I want to say a huge, massive thank you once again to all of you. I want to encourage you, if you possibly can, to share this video with those people that might not be seeing it on social media. Some people that might not be getting that email. If you know people that aren't watching this, please let them know about it. I'm going to continue to record these videos for as long as they're useful and as long as they're being watched. But if people aren't watching them, I'll stop recording them. So if you can keep sharing it, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for everything you do, especially in this Volunteers Week. You're all amazing. Keep up the great work and stay safe. I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye bye.